G'day legends and welcome back to another video, and this is part one of my routed wood track adventures here in Austria. The track is behind me, it is here. Part two will be coming. I am waiting on some braid, which I got the email today saying it is on its way from Germany. But let's get stuck into the video. It is filmed just by me. Unfortunately I didn't document everything that I did, but there's enough in there to see what issues I had. So enjoy it, and at the end of that we'll come back and talk about the track itself. So I'm here to pick up the track. I've got the van. Massive thank you to Cocoon for lending me the van. Now I hope the track fits in here, so let's go get it. So let's have a sneaky peek at the seller's room. There's some epic 124 scratch built cars here, and as you can see, some of those Porsches are Tamiya kits. We've got some F1. Now mostly this room is 124 in scale. There is some 132 that you'll see in a tick, but how organized is this? Now I didn't want to film us tearing down the track and walking it out in respect to the seller. Of course, he's got private photos, personal items, but he did allow me to film his little man cave, which if I can tell you now, it was quite impressive. Well organized, epic scratch builder, and here's some of the 132 stuff. So I hope you enjoyed that instead of taking down the track. So the big question is, does it fit? Let's have a look. And there it is. It's in pieces, but I think we can fix this. Look at that. All right, home time. Let's go. So we've got half of it up, and let's go and look at the rest. Ooh. Muscles is waiting. Give me a flex. Oh God. Yeah, we can get that out. And as you can see, it fits. Well, sort of. You'll see in a tick. It doesn't fit. So the track fits. Still having issues up here with the straight. We're out by about 10 centimeters. These all line up nicely. Of course, I'm missing the bases to support the bridge, which I have to come up with something, a flat surface underneath these two edges. As you can see, it is touching, but my plan to make it fit, because it's not fitting because of this little section here, is still to cut the green section out on both sides, and then we'll turn it this way and maybe just run it on an angle slightly, but it's getting there. So I've bit the bullet and I've made a big change in here to make the track fit. Now as you can see, it is now a lot taller. Unfortunately, the boxes, which is only a temporary size, as in there was a height test, is just too low. And for me to make this track fit in here in the way that you see it, the configuration, so from left to right, I would have had to have cut the track and docked it around about to that hole, which means I would have had to do 2 clean cuts, and hopefully the track then would have fit perfectly, which I would have had to cut the other side as well to make it an even track length. So what I've done is I've raised it up with my shelving, which again is temporary for now, which gets me above the window ledge. Good thing is, window still opens. You can't have this open whilst you're racing, but at least I still can open the window, and the window still does drop down, and you can have that open when racing for some ventilation. But it will now fit because we do have that extra height. I can run the track to the wall, so there will be a little gap on the side for cars to drift around, and being higher, it will be easier to get underneath to marshal. Plus, I'm getting rid of all these anyways, because I'm going to do some rail tracks up on the wall to start holding all my collection. So I'll use these underneath, which will give me some extra storage as well. So let's get to it. Let's pull all these down, take the collection off, and let's get this track finally set up. So I've given in and I've gone and bought some tongue and groove underlay. Now this is 15 mil in thickness, very light. This is going to go under the track so I can then do the bridge section. So fingers crossed now I can get the track going. But I'll tell you what, buying a combi, it's a must in Austria. So a quick track update. We're moving along. I've gone out and bought some tongue and groove style wood as a base. Yes, I did need a base, unfortunately. As you can see, that's going down nicely. I do have to screw the track down. I still have to redo some braid because we were chopping the track here. I have to lip that underneath, which I'll figure that out shortly. I might have to actually peel that back and relay some new braid. Screw it all down, redo the bridge. The original bridge section I'm gonna have to make my own supports for, but now we do have room for some scenery. I've got some magnetic racing scenery sitting there, as you can see, just as a demo, but it is coming along. I did raise it up with some display shelving, so now we're window height, but I think it looks pretty good. I reckon a couple more days and we can do some test driving. Braid update. Now, unfortunately, some of these pieces will have to be replaced with new braid. This is old braid. So that means a lot of this track has to be re-braided. So I have to order some new stuff. I have got some brand new braid that I've already laid. As you can see, I'm running some hangover on either edges. So if I do have to cut the braid to fix it, or I want to join power, I've got that running down here. I've just ran this bit of braid. I will do a video on how I run this one. It's very simple. Use some kind of glue, cut the length, and then run it, and making sure you don't go inside the slot itself. But it appears some of these I don't have to change because of the overhangs. But this one over here doesn't have any overhang. This big corner here, as you can see here, has no overhang. That's just me trying to do a little bit of a connector, which I won't be doing that. So I have to replace all this braid, all that braid, and then that should be enough. So it's gonna take a little bit longer, but at least it'll be done. So I just want to quickly show you how I'm doing the braid now. Of course, you've got to cut your length. I have put a nice strip of glue down, and you simply slowly run the braid within the groove itself. Of course, when you route a slot car track, you've got your groove plus some insets for your braid, and you simply run the finger along, nice and easy. Now the glue I'm using is a slow set. It's not the perfect glue for the job, but any glue will really do. I prefer to use a double-sided adhesive braid, but unfortunately I can't get any here in Austria, which makes it a lot easier and a lot cleaner. And of course, if any glue goes into the guide, you can then simply take that out, and it's simple as that. Now, whilst it's drying, you'll be able to run your finger along, pushing it into the side of the groove that's cut in for the braid, because the braid doesn't sit flush with the track, it's just a little bit under. And whilst it's drying, you just keep running your finger along and making sure it seats properly, and you simply keep running it along. You'll get some high spots, which you'll have to put some glue back on again once it's down, but also you're pushing it in against the track. But there you go, very simple, very easy to do. I think anyone can lay braid. You just gotta make sure you cut the right lengths, don't cut it too short. So that's a wrap on episode 1. A massive thank you to Nicholas from Slot Car Dude's YouTube channel. Please check him out. I filmed him last year at the Salzburg Club in August. Really good video. He's amazing with HO. He can drive 132 and 124 like no tomorrow. Check out some of his action on my last video. I will try and link it below. But I've got to be honest, with this track, there was no planning. There is another track that we found. I'll talk about that in a tick. But this one looked like it was going to fit in the small space. Now, I did want to challenge myself on fitting the biggest track I can, non-plastic, in here. So thanks to Nicholas, he has been searching since December for me. We've found many tracks, but this one worked out. So nothing was planned. I literally saw the photo, organised to go see it, which you saw that video, and then of course I've returned and picked it up, and I've had nothing but issues, but it's been fun. Now on the drive there, I tried to film as much as I could because it is a beautiful drive to Zalem, but unfortunately, as you can see, the storm was really bad. I chose the worst day to go, and it was quite sketchy. It was black ice, it came down on top of the mountain like there's no tomorrow. It's about an hour and a half there and an hour and a half back, but in the snow, it is a dangerous drive. So I didn't want to film any further. It was quite sketchy. It was really bad, but it was a lot of fun. As you can see, it did fit in the van. A massive thank you to another friend, Nick, who said, yep, take my van. Again, none of this was planned. I was searching high and low for a van, could not find one in such a short time. So I've had a lot of great people help me get this here. And of course, once I got it here, it didn't fit, but it does now. So I think everything's fallen into place really well. I think the purpose of the video is, of course, showing you that you can put a decent sized wood routed track in a small room, 4 by 3 meters. And I didn't want to plan anything. I didn't want to go, yeah, this is perfect. I wanted to just film it and show you what I ran into as I went along. Now the filming itself, I did it by myself. There's no one else that works on the channel, it's just me. So I did try and film it as good as I can. I hope you did enjoy it. But yeah, I wanted to show you some of the issues I had and how we've overcome it. And part 2, this will be up and running. I have tested it. I did put some braid in between the joints just to see if the power system worked, how the track surface was. It's very slippery. So it does definitely get up and go. It's just I want to do it properly, which is part 2. I have had confirmation today that the braid is en route. I should have that by end of week, and then I will film rebraiding it, which is not hard. It's cutting and gluing, but then we can get stuck into some reviews, and the track is live, which is very exciting. Part 3 will be getting the timing system going. That's another day. But it's been a lot of fun, so I hope you did enjoy that. Again, a massive thank you to Nicholas from Slot Car Dude and Nick from Cocoon, who gave me his work van. You're an absolute legend, mate. Now, in regards to the other track I found, now I am in Austria at the moment. I did say I'm back and forth to Australia. I may still purchase that track. If I do find the photo, here it is. If I didn't find the photo, sorry, but you have to believe it was really beautiful. 8 by 4 meters, 4-lane wood routed. I will try and organise and get that sent to the man shed, because it won't fit in the man cave, and that'll be a future project for Australia, because of course the man shed, it's massive. We can do anything in there. This was a challenge for me. I loved it. It's still a challenge. I've got still more stuff to do on the walls. I've got a HO track to fit in here. But the man cave, I think, is coming along, or the slot cave I should call it, not the slot shed, because that's back at home, has come along really well. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit the comments, let me know what you think. If you've got any tips and tricks, and if you see anything that you didn't like the saw. I know people are going to say, why are we using a saw and not a power tool? Can't make much noise in here, and I did want to do this on a budget. This is well under €1,000, which is about $1,200 well under, once it's finished, well under. So I did want to do this on a budget. I did want to buy tools and bits and pieces that I only use once. I'm just trying to do this on, like I said, a budget, and as DIY and unplanned as I can. And so far, we're doing okay. As you can see with the end of the video, it's come up all right. A lot more to do. Part 2's coming. Cheers for watching Legends. As always, at That Slot Car Guy on Instagram and YouTube. If you like this kind of content, and if you're looking forward to seeing the track up and running and future reviews of all the cars that I'm receiving, stay tuned for that. But be safe, take care, support your local, consider subscribing. It does help out the channel. Ciao.